And tonight, hopefully, we'll be opening up some of the packs from this Gym Challenge First Edition box. As of right now, we haven't sold any of the packs, so we'll just have to see what happens there. I plan on at least breaking one pack, one way or the other. We'll just have to see. If you guys do want to buy in on that, it is still absolutely 100% sealed, but we'll see how it goes because we're going to start off with the very first order, which was Surging Sparks. But I hope you guys had a great weekend. It's a little chilly here. Definitely a lot colder than it has been. But we're going to be starting off with 3 Surging Sparks booster boxes. That's what's lined up. We've got one guy who bought 1, another person who bought 2, and these were from last week's price at the $185. After it sold out from there, then they actually did jump up to $200 a piece. And so if you guys do still want to buy in Surging Sparks, I did restock a few of them. But let's go ahead and jump into this and waste no time. That way, if somebody does want to buy in on the Gym Challenge, that is available. 36 packs. What's up, Ludos? Do you even gym? Kind of reminds me of, I think Swolepoke used to have something like that. So you got Ghost, Spection, John Penrose, Just Yuri, Christopher Ondo. What's up, man? Pack number 1, we got starting off with a full art, Cyrano. Ghost says, hopefully someone pulls that Pikachu. Been a tough pull from what I've seen. Yeah, I think we've only pulled 1. I think we've only pulled 1 here. Pull this stuff over here. Precious Trophy and, well, got an SIR, got Jasmine's Gaze, so you probably won't get the Pikachu in this box since we just pulled an SIR right there, which I have no idea what that one's worth. Snack Bread, what is up, man? Yeah, I hope we do get to see some Gym Challenge open up tonight. We hadn't sold any as of when the video had started, but we're going to be definitely starting off with Surging Sparks. Got 3 box lines lined up. And then I think 10 151 packs. And after that, it's, you know, whatever's bought during the stream. Tapu Koko. Has anybody seen 2 SIRs pulled from, or 2 double gold stars pulled in the same box? As far as I know, you can't do it, but I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm sure you can do it in a 36 pack lot. You can also get nothing from 36 packs. Yeah, I've had vintage available most every stream now, but they really haven't been the focus now for a while. I get people who come through and buy stuff every now and then. I'll tell you, it was the base set boxes. That's pretty much the only consistent one we had that we could sell over and over again, and people would want to jump in and buy the heavy packs and have them opened up. Oop, wrong pile. Because right now I think we have, well, I mean, base triangle, that's pretty niche. Then we have, from last week, we have base heavy for Japanese, which I think people would have interest in that. We did sell a few of those, but they were all ship sealed. There's some Fossil 1999-2000, extremely niche. Snack Bread said, anyone think PE will have better pull rates since it's got 32 SIRs? What's PE? Paldea Evolved. You got Terrestrial. Oh, Prismatic Evolutions. See, I'm still stuck on the Japanese set that's releasing this Friday. Usually any of these specialty sets, they have better pulls, but Prismatic, I think Prismatic is a specialty set, so it should have similar to like something like Crown Zenith. Trevor says you got to raise your Evolving Skies box. You would think that, but it's been available for 2 weeks. Nobody's bought it, so. But you got to understand, you can't have this ship sealed, so you got to open it. Like the only option I have for that Evolving Skies box is for you to open it live during the video. Rachel asks, will I be getting, man, that looks pretty cool. A lot of contrasting colors. Will you be? Will you get any terrestrial festival? Yes, I will be, and you guys will have access to it. I plan to be selling hopefully next Tuesday, if everything works out okay. I think I confirmed with Retro that I was indeed supposed to get some of the ones that were shipped out early, because I ordered some through him, and I put in a few orders, but his price was the best. John says, I wish I could scoop up some of the gym challenge. It should be available. I mean, it's not like we're going to sell out tonight. Unless we open up the first pack and it's like all hollows or something crazy. There's Miracle headset. Got a nice A-spec. Snack Bread says, LOL, you think so? It's that funny we have another set with the same letters. Paldea Evolved and Prismatic Evolutions. Yeah. There were several that were like super confusing when you were like looking at the set list there for a while there. What was it? You had Paldea Evolved, you had Paldean Fates, you had... Was that the ones I'm thinking of? It was like PAF, Paradox Rift, which was PAR. You had Paldea Evolved, which is PAL. So like they all kind of blended together when you were trying to sort by set. Nice Pikachu EX. There we go. At least you got the regular. John Palin, you and PK always pronounce it wrong. It's pronounced niche. Nah. If you can't spell it on a regular keyboard without that tilde, I'm okay with saying it without it. Without that little accent mark over it. I think niche is more of a thing that people from like Europe say. Who was that guy from Shark Tank? He'd always say niche, because that was the first time I think I'd heard that. But it's spelled niche. If you put an accent mark over it, I guess you could say that. Niche. We'll say niche. We'll make it even worse. It's kind of like what is it? Porsche and Porsche. To me, it's just a Porsche. Sometimes I get kind of ridiculous with that too. Like with the if I'm saying a sentence in English and then I say like a food that is Mexican, like ACP, you know, it's arroz con. You're supposed to say pollo, right? Like you're supposed to make the double L sound like a Y. But if everything else is English, like why don't we just say it like it's an English word, like polo, you know, or polo. I'm not even sure how you do it since polo is Polo. It's all confusing. As long as you know what you're saying, or they can understand what you mean by it. I get made fun of all the time for my accent. There's Clobopus. I mean, I'm the same guy who gets frustrated though when I call in to a hotline and they ask me what language I'm speaking. I'm speaking English, but then they stick someone on there with an accent who's obviously not from America. Like, it's really hard to understand, and now I'm getting angry because I can't understand them. They can't understand me. Oh, nice. This Pikachu EX is pretty good, too. So you got the regular, and then you got the double Silver Star. So I think this is the best you could get for Pikachu if you don't get the SIR. Trevor says, if it's there in a week, I'm buying it. I hope so. I mean, it'll be for live opening. I plan on keeping a lot of that set like just to have on hand, not only for lives but for myself personally. Ciao. See, like if I was trying to say that in English, I mean that's just too complicated. So I'm gonna just say ciao because it's like K-I-O. I mean, there's not an English word for that one. So ciao. Yeah, this is a pretty good box. Had the regular Sylveon EX too. Go says we need the SIR. We did get an SIR. That was the Jasmine's Gaze, because that's what the 2 gold stars is, I believe. Snorlax says booster bundle display. I did not get that. I might be getting some for... I don't even know if Prismatic Evolutions has those, then I probably got some. I might not have got that many. Man, the lighting seems to be doing, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but the lighting looks to be a lot better for the cards. Maybe not so much my face, but I wonder if it's because this white t-shirt reflects the color a little bit better than like the standard dark. Let me know what you guys think. I feel like last week it was really bad. All right. Next up, we have Sean. Programmers just gifted 5 memberships. Way to make an entry. As always, he's up in here being generous. Definitely appreciate that. We've got Pokey Gaga, Joseph Bergman, Trond, New Gaming Chair, and Justin Burrell. If you're listening, you were just gifted a membership. Thanks, man. Definitely appreciate that. That might help out later on for the giveaway. If you stick around for that, which that'll be at the end of the video. John says, I hate that, man. Why do you have to press a button for English? We speak English, so it should be the default. I would think it'd be default, but I'll be honest, I don't like listening to anything that's on the phone that's not a person. You'd think it would be the opposite. I mean, if I can do it online, I'm going to do it online. I don't really want to call anybody. I feel like a super old man for not liking that, but I'm finding more and more like that seems to be the majority of people. They don't really want to call in and have to talk to somebody. They'd rather just be able to fix it online with a couple clicks, which some places are almost impossible to get in contact with. eBay used to be really bad for me until I got that, like you've got the merchant number, which makes it way easier. I haven't called them in months, so I just don't deal with it anymore. Like that last neutral that came on my account, I was just like, whatever. I'm gonna just let it go. PayPal is pretty rough. PayPal, it's crazy. If you call into PayPal, it doesn't matter where you are. Like you can't turn this off. They will always state what your balance is. You don't ask for it; they'll just say it. Now I had this concern one time. I finally got through to somebody. I was like, "Hey, can I turn this off? Like this is a security problem. Like what if I'm around people and they hear that balance? Like I don't want people hearing my PayPal balance because they're eavesdropping or whatever. I don't want to have to seclude myself to be able to call PayPal because a lot of times you're on hold for 30 minutes, maybe more. And you know, apparently there's no way around it. You just gotta deal with that. Then some places are just really, really tough to get in contact with. I've been trying to get in contact with Rakuten, which used to be Ebates. Golly, like everything's ineligible with them now, and like everything on their site is broken. But they're still like one of the major ways that you can get like cash back for your purchases online. So I don't know. They're supposed to work with Fanatics, but sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Philly Birds, if I buy a $200 box, do you open it now? I will open it tonight. It will be opened up in order. So like right now, Sean, he's got 2 boxes. After that, there is an order with Benjamin who has 10 151 packs. And then whatever's been ordered since we started the stream, I'm going to do that stuff in order. But yes, it will be open tonight. It just won't be open like this second. It has to go in order of whoever purchased first. So Mitchell says, at John Pauline, U.S. has no official language. That's actually kind of surprising, but at the same time, I feel like I could believe that, like it's believable. I think everyone knows like the standard language is going to be English, but I mean, you can about go anywhere and speak English. So we got some weird rules. You got words that are spelled the exact same way, but they sound different. You got read and red and red and read. Like R-E-E-D is like a weed. R-E-A-D could be read or red. And then you got red, which is R-E-D, which is a color. What we got here? Ooh, there we go. Got a nice gold, a Alolan Executor EX. Bam. You can have past and present tense all in the same word. Live, live. It gets confusing, but if you say it out loud, usually people can understand what you mean. Cephas, I can't even try to pronounce that one. I'm 29. I'm like that. I'll call to pay all my bills. Some places you can't even call. Like they just don't have a line. Andres says, do you have any prismatic for pre-order? No, I don't. I rarely do pre-orders. I'd rather have stuff on hand than sell it to you once I have it on hand. Josco says, what is Rusty investing in at the moment? Some certain promos, but I've actually been building my CGC Pristine registry. I think Pristines are pretty underrated. And if nothing else, I think they're going to hold the best value. So whenever I get in a new Pristine, I just kind of tuck it in my collection, add it to my registry, and, you know, it looks kind of nice. I've got a PSA set registry, then I've got my CGC Pristine, and, you know, some of them are just regular Gem 10 as well, but I think there's still good value there for the price that you're paying. But I'm always trying to set back more of like booster cases for newer sets. I've got plenty of 151 that I've set back. If we see another price drop, I'm probably going to buy more of those, but right now I got to recoup some money. I've been spending a little too much money. Austin said, I'm not a read. Uh-oh. I don't even know what that means. Austin Reed says, I'm not a read. Zappy says, raid. I don't even know how to say that one correctly. Unleashed Gamer 335. Are we able to get Evolving Skies box set sealed? Nope. It is only to be opened. If it's going to be sealed, honestly, I'd just rather keep it myself. I've just kind of put it here as like just a little bonus. If somebody did want to buy the Evolving Skies box, take a chance. We'll go for it. It's almost always like you either hit it or you bust type thing. Latias. What will you be selling it for? Do you know? Probably just whatever the market is around that time. And if I sell too fast, then I'll probably go up, because I really don't want to sell them crazy fast. Now, if there's a ton available and I can order more, that's usually when I'm the closest to whatever the market price is. So, like, if I can order 100 boxes at $50, like, I have no problem selling for like $60. And, you know, that seems to be something that's like pretty standard. A lot of people trying to sell them. But if the prices are going up pretty quick, then there might be a gap there. Inspection says, I have not invested in a modern Pokemon set in over a year. Oh, man. So you missed out on Twilight Masquerade and Surging Sparks. That's tough, dude. This one might be the one to buy. However expensive it is, it will go up. It's a good set. Well, if you didn't invest in those, but you were still putting money actively towards sets like 151 or, you know, something really good, then I guess it doesn't matter, because, I mean, there's plenty of really good plays out there. But Twilight Masquerade and Surging Sparks, they did super nice right off the bat. Well, Surging Sparks did nice right off the bat. Twilight not so much. It took a little bit for that one. Inspection says, however expensive it is, it will go up. It should, especially being because this is a high class set too. Forget about it. It's gonna be fun. Like, everybody's gonna want to open this up for a long time. Anytime more of those come out, I'm gonna be in on the reprints. I agree with you 100% there, Inspection. Yeah, Snorlax, I believe he's talking about Prismatic. Although you've probably already answered that, since I'm about 15 chats behind. Hey, Cali dude, good to see you in here. John says 77.5% of people speak English, and the next language behind it is Spanish at 13%. Yeah, that sounds about right. I would think that more people actually speak English than 77.5. Maybe like as their first language, or is that saying that 22.5% of people don't speak English? Scott, what do you think about Ace Grading? Have you heard of them? I have heard of Ace Grading. I have not actually ever graded with them, so I can't say much to it. I would assume they'd kind of be in that same, you know, categories like Diamond Service Grading, the one that I just did a review of, where they're not one of the big three, so there's not a huge upside to even getting like the best grade out there, but it could be worth it for whatever your personal needs are for grading, especially if it's cheaper or it's more local and it makes more sense, like with customs and stuff. Is that the one that's Randolph? Is that his Ace? Spectre says, since sometimes reprint can be such a short print that the price never goes as low as it did during the news of the reprint. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think it was like that with the Japanese 151 because they got down to like $50 or something like that during the news. And even with this past 151 Japanese reprint, I believe it was lowest once it was announced, like a few weeks after that, not actually when that come later on. Inspection says Scarlet and Violet took a while to hit its stride. Yeah, and I mean, there's still some sets it's hard to make any money on, but it definitely has picked up quite a bit. And some of that has to do with, I mean, it's this time of year. Like, things always do well this time of year. Well, I say always, but sometimes things retrace if they went crazy, you know, like in a certain 2020. 2021 was a different type of year as well, but all right, let's see. Man, chat's doing pretty good tonight. John says Terrestrial Festival looks amazing. Can't wait for our 3 boxes to get here. Nice, man. You're able to pick up 3 boxes. Ryan says, I got my Japanese box. My son was so thrilled. Hey, that's great, man. He had picked up the Japanese base set empty box. It was pretty beat up, but still, those are hard to find. Tatsurgi. Did I say that right? Probably not. We'll put it in the basket with niche. I did my best. Ghost said, Inspection, I don't have the time or energy for modern these days. You know, it is quite a bit of a hassle, but I tell you what, people love their modern. I post a modern card on IG, and man, people just love that. Versus like I could post something like super rare or fancy, or you know, this Pokemon that's really interesting to me because it's like from the original era. You know, people don't care. You know, it might get a few hundred likes just because of how many followers I have on there. But the stuff that gets like the really big traction, the ones that get like 10,000 likes, that's always like the modern chase hits. Steve says, why do you think PSA is suddenly cracking down on upcharges? I don't know. I'm not actually aware of that because I've submitted more to them. Like I probably sent 10 orders into them past week or so, but I probably submitted that many orders in the past year prior to that. I haven't had an upcharge since base set Charizard artwork for a pack that I graded pulled a 10, and they upcharged that. Josco, is your cousin still working on his Pokemon business? I recall you shooting a video with him to start his journey a while back. No, he is not. He when he went to college right after that, and this was his first year, and he was doing like a decathlon. I think he had a job. He had all kinds of stuff going on. So he ended up stepping back from it for a little bit. Maybe he'll come back to it one day. I don't know. Ghost says his only black label is SV49. Wow, bought it a few years ago. I mean, that's a pretty big one. Nice Pikachu EX. Spectre says, I actually like the Beckett fraud story for the long-term value in black label. Just Yuri, Rusty up in here creating his own language. Yeah, that's kind of what you do around here. You really stress certain letters. And then you just like completely omit and slur others. I found myself analyzing how I say or. Like I don't say or. A lot of times I say I just say I was like, that doesn't even make sense. Spectre says, thank you again for the error identification, by the way, Rusty. Error identification. What are you talking about? You talking about like some of the ones that got the identification like the Blaine's Charizard from Gym Challenge? Which it wouldn't be on first edition. I guess they probably do it on first edition since it's there, but Unlimited is the one that has the corrected. Snorlax says vintage will always be my favorite. It'd probably always be mine too. But it is hard to deny. I mean, there are some really nice, breathtaking artworks that come with the modern stuff. We're going to go over all these hits too at the end, Sean, if you're in here. Pamela, question: I got a pack off eBay, but my scale is not sure if it's accurate. I see someone weighs like 20.8, or I've seen one 21.05 when I weighed on a glass desk. First edition is hollow possible. So unfortunately, a lot of times when you get stuff in the mail, the humidity, I assume that's what it is. I mean, it could really change the weight. I've had stuff, even you can ask Spection, stuff that I've gotten from him that's changed by half a gram. And that sometimes it took time. Like it would lose like 0.1 grams over a week, and then I'd have to reweigh everything. I mean, it's kind of crazy how that works. You wouldn't think you could lose that much, but anyways, 21.05, 21.8 is possible to have a hollow, but it's very unlikely. I have seen that. 21.05, you might have a decent shot at it for first edition base, anyways. Tim, it has been since early 2000s when I last opened a first edition gym challenge. I don't remember too much about opening up packs back when I was a kid. I do remember a Neo Genesis first edition box my dad bought me for 85 bucks. I got the T18. I don't think I got T17. I can't remember if I got Lugia. I feel like I would remember it if I did. Sam says, howdy y'all. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's nighttime here. It's, what time is it? 8:30? Man, it's like pitch black out right now. Section, that double printing error Hitmonchan from base set. Oh, gotcha. Now, I don't know for sure that's what it is, but that's what it looked like. I've seen that kind of stuff before. Pile of Sand, probably the dumbest Pokemon of all. Well, again, you've got Doug Trio, you've got Diglett, you got a furry hot dog that triples itself. Internet person, ain't nothing as beautiful as you. I assume you're not talking to me. Inspection, humidity and temp play a huge factor in it. It's cold and dry in my room right now, so all my packs will weigh light. What matters is the weight of packs in relation to one another. 100%. And that's why it's like good to have packs come out of a sealed box. If they're not out of a sealed box, it's really hard to tell. Baboon, he says, it's been a while since I've seen you stream. Well, we've been pretty consistent lately on Tuesdays. I don't know. We might be taking a break soon just because of the time of year that it's coming up on. My kids, man, they're full blast into basketball. Both of them have practice twice a week, and they also have games starting up this Saturday. And then one of them has a birthday, and then there's vacation, and everything else that goes with having a family around Christmas time, especially when there's 3 young kids. So we'll see. Usually Tuesday nights are one of my more open nights, so that's kind of nice. Pamela, thank you. Debating on opening or keeping sealed with Gym Challenge. That explains why the scale is going up when I place it inconsistent. Maybe I'll keep it sealed another week or 2. All right, man. Didn't get an SIR for Sean. But here's your stack of hits. Got a couple good regular art rares or illustration rares. Got a Pikachu EX in there. Lots of EXs. There's Larvasta. Did get 1 gold, so that's pretty cool. That'd probably be your biggest hit, the Alolan Executor. Tell him, Ghost. Suspections, I've been buying loads of pack lots. And as long as it's early Watsu, which is 80% of what I find anyways, you can always tell if it's unweighed. Yeah, I could probably see that too. Like with those black triangle packs, I weighed out the box. It was a mixed box. There were so many that weighed over 21. But I only kept the top 9 out of the 36 packs. But I believe there are some hollow packs in those black triangles that I just plan to. I'm gonna try to get them graded. See if that works out. All right, Benjamin. He bought 10 English 151 packs. No bulk. See if we can pull him something really nice out of here. All right, nothing in that one. When in doubt, open the heaviest pack. See, I feel like if I'm in doubt, I kind of go with. I'll look at a range of packs and then I'll kind of open one that's on the border, you know. Just your B drill is literally a B. I mean, a Caterpie is literally, isn't it like it's like a caterpillar that turns into some kind of horned moth or something, but it looks almost exactly like what it is in real life. Sam Wise says, what's your favorite Christmas tradition? I mean, I love watching like just some of the Christmas movies with my family. Like that'd probably be. Yeah, I mean, I really like that. But I like going around and seeing Christmas lights, just driving around. I remember my daughter, Emma, I'm sure if my wife is listening, she'll remember it too. Like when it was just Emma, before Sarah and John were born, and there was one year where we were riding around for Christmas lights, and anytime she saw Christmas lights, she would say, "Oh, mommy." You know, and I could still hear that voice in my head. And both of us knew, like, it would never be like that again. Because, like, Sarah really didn't get that kind of chance. I mean, because when there's another kid in the car, it's a little different. Ooh. Dang, there we go. Talking about Christmas, there it is. Something that we also like to do. We've only done it a few times with our church, but our church always has a candlelight service. And, it's on Christmas Eve. Everyone goes to the church. It's later in the evening. Used to be quite a bit later, but now they do it kind of late evening, maybe like 8, 9. Still kind of late for kids, but everybody gets in there. It's dark. Everyone has a candle. You all light it off one another, and then you're given a chance to kind of say things that you're thankful for, and everybody will do that, and they'll just go around the room, and then you blow out the candles, and that'll be it. Sorry, I pulled the Charizard and then just kind of like glazed over it. I think it looks pretty good. Centering's not perfect, but I think it's well within the range to pull that 10. I mean, that's pretty dang good looking at it. Looks a little thinner on the right side, but not by much. I think you got a good shot there at a pretty penny. Yep. It's the big card. John says, I want a Japanese Best of XY pack in a giveaway. I had no idea it's worth $200+. Man, I didn't know it was worth that much. See, I haven't been in the Japanese game really that long. Lambuki, you always pulling Zards. I always pull them from other people. I don't think I have one of these in my personal collection yet. I need to just go through and just like randomly open up some packs for myself. I did that with Obsidian Flames, pulled the SIR Zard. I mean, it took a lot of packs, but I did pull it, and I pulled a couple gold Zards too. So really, these packs were not that great because, I mean, you only had 2 hits, but one of those hits was a monster. So way to go, Benjamin. Candy says, let's get some fire pulls tonight. I hope so as well. I'm going to go check see what has been ordered since the beginning of the stream. If anything, you never know. Sometimes we don't have stuff that's been ordered. Try to get these orders. There we go. All right. Let's go look. All right, so we do have one order in. It's for George. Good to see you, George. It's been a little bit. What did he pick up? So George picked up one Surging Sparks booster box. No bulk. Too easy, man. $69.98. And if you're wanting to jump in and buy anything, there's a link to it's tcagaming.com, link to the store at the top, which will take you to anything that has like the option to open it live. But there's nobody in line after George. try and get a box out of here. There we go. All right, and if I missed your chat, feel free to post. Just pop it back in there again. I try to hit most of the chats or glaze over them, but sometimes I just miss it completely. Sam says, "Is that a very expensive Charizard? It's the biggest hit in the 151 set." And I want to say, based off of some of Z and G's, posts, that the price on that card has really went up if it grades a 10. Like if you get it graded by PSA and it pulls the 10 on the English side, it's fairly expensive. I know the Japanese one was like 135 in a PSA 10 for a while, but the English one was about 3 times that, I want to say, and then it jumped up close to maybe even $1,000. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. All right, pack number 1, nothing there. So Flambuki says a box of the best of XY sold for, nice, got the Pikachu, sold for $6 to $7K a few months ago. So best of XY, that should be a high class set, right? Maybe I'm wrong. If it's a high class set, it should have 10 packs, which would be like $600 to $700 a pack. Which that's my logic there is based off it being a 10 pack set, 10 pack box. So if I'm wrong there, that math doesn't math. John says he looked them up. People have them on eBay for $220-ish. Ooh, there's a Hydreigon. Which that could also be an issue, but a lot of times loose Japanese packs, man, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, like they are very likely to be, well, we're not gonna say very likely. There's a higher chance of loose random Japanese packs to be weighed than I would say English. And you might think the opposite, but I'm gonna say, like with almost all confidence, don't go on eBay buying loose Japanese modern packs. Like it's just, you're just asking for trouble. John says it's definitely a 10 pack box. So like, if somebody had the best of XY box, they could go through there and they could, I bet you there's an easy way to find the big hit from that box. And then you could sell the other 9 packs and still recoup, a decent amount of your money. Now, I don't know why that set would be that expensive. I'm not sure. I'm not completely familiar with what's in the set, but it may have to do with some like exclusive trainer full arts that get real expensive. I know, like, what is it, Seer, like Seer. That was a very expensive trainer on the Japanese side because it was exclusive to them. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That, for some reason, that pack just felt thicker. John says, yeah, I'm sure it's probably a dead pack, but I'll never open it anyways. It's sealed, and I'll keep it in my collection as such. And see, they're always going to hold some value sealed like that, too. Like, I remember when I had those EV Heroes packs that like, you could tell the boxes had been searched. There were some of those packs you could look at, and they were still 100% regular sealed. Like, some of the boxes just had, like, the hit packs taken out, and then they were left with the light packs. Those light packs were fine. Like, they were sealed. No problems with those at all, but you knew that they were lights. But even still, like when I sold them, I sold those packs as completely weighed. There's nothing but light cards in there, which for EV Heroes is just 5 non-hollows. But people still were paying like $6 a pack, which unfortunately, it could have been one of those things where somebody was buying them just so that they could try to flip them in their store and sell them for full price as if they were unweighed, which is, again, that's unfortunate, but that could easily happen. Hex Maniac is in the set. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Along with N and Karen. So those are all going to be good. John says Hex Maniac in Japanese is thousands raw. I've sold a few of those for people in the past. They'll send me the guy will send me an email because I don't typically take raw cards unless they're pretty expensive. And he'll send me a few images of some trainers, be like, hey, would you accept these? raw, and usually I say yes because he almost always hits me up with like very expensive raw cards, and I've sold some of those. It just surprises me how expensive they are. Shauna Hexmaniac, man, those are definitely XY throwbacks. Remember, they reprinted in as a promo. Ooh, nice. Got you an SIR. Got the Durant EX. It's a pretty decent one. I think it is anyways. There's a Latias. Maybe we can get that illustration rare with the Latios and Latias. Maybe we'll get both. Well, I say we. I mean George. Cyril Aduge. Bricked Up says, do you like Japanese CGC graded stuff? I've got quite a few pristines. That's been the majority of what I've been buying off of Fanatics. I've been going to their auctions. I've been buying stuff like the Mewtwo that we have on the Japanese side, or on the English side from the UPC. On the Japanese side, you can get that thing in pristine for like $30. I think that's a killer deal. I've been buying some of like the Sleepy V Charizard. There's a couple different cards that are just, I mean, they're just so inexpensive compared to the English side, and you can get them in the pristine, which that label I think looks really good with the Japanese cards. So if you're looking to sell some and they're pristines, send me an email, and you know, I can at least give you a quote for, you know, what I would potentially buy there. If they're regular 10s and it's like older stuff, you know, I still might buy them. Enriching Energy. PokeFanboy, what's your favorite Pokemon? I'm going to go with Bulbasaur. Charizard, you know, he's always up there. But, you know, Bulbasaur, he was just kind of like my first. Kabuto was my first card. Bulbasaur's really like my favorite Pokemon. Zach says, hey, just curious how many first edition Gym Challenge packs have been opened? So far, 0. We'll at least open 1 pack tonight, but if nobody buys into it, I mean, it is what it is. Like, yeah, I can't really go much lower just because of, like, after you take out the fees and potential, like, price discount you could get for memberships. And what I paid, I mean, there's not a whole lot of profit there. I'd rather just let them sit. Because I think they will be bought in time. Gym Challenge is a really fun set. John says, I've noticed CGC Pristine 10s of big cards have been commanding higher prices than PSA 10s recently. Yeah, they have. I think that people kind of like see. Like, I paid more for the Blaine's Charizard in Pristine 10 than the PSA 10. And I bid quite a bit more on that Blastoise as well as the Venusaur base set. I lost the Blastoise, but I ended up winning the Venusaur. And like the Umbreon, I think I paid $2,200 to $2,300, and I want to say the PSA one's right at like $1,700 to $1,800. So it's not like a crazy price increase, but there is some price increase for big cards, anyways. I did see the Legendary Collection box, and it was at a price that kind of surprised me. I wasn't expecting it to be that high. $60K is definitely up there. But Legendary Collection, I mean, it's a tough set to come by. And if that box continues to go up, I think the Charizard and many of the other reverse holos are only going to continue to go up, because those are pretty much unique to that set. All right, George, here are your hits. You did get an SIR, so congrats on that. Nice looking Fanpy. You start off with a Pikachu. Freaked Up said, thank you, most are 10s, but I got some older stuff. Okay. Yeah, like I said, send me an email. It's right here at the top of the screen. Let me know what you have. If you put in like a Google Sheet or something like that, I can look at it a lot quicker. For the most part, I'm not going to be paying, like if the cards are like $30 value, Like I have to factor in when I sell that, I'm going to be paying $5 shipping, and I got a little bit of fee, so I might pay $20 for a card like that. Unless it's just something that I buy a lot of, then I might pay a different price. But so you're not going to be getting like 90% value for a card like that. But if you have a card that's like, if you wanted to sell, if you had a Moonbreon, an Umbreon, in a pristine tin, yeah, I'd definitely give you 90% value on that. All right, so let me see if there's been any more orders. Holy moly. Okay, 5 orders were put in, one failed. That does surprise me. I wasn't expecting that many orders to come through. All right, Miral, you're next. You guys can probably figure out where your order is. Order 6999. Like, you're the next order. After that, 7,000 was canceled, but it looks like 7,001, 7,002, 7,003. Those are all coming up. All right. I wasn't expecting that after only having one order. Then we hit 4 in a row. All right, so it looks like Miral also picked up 10-151, no bulk. Can we go 2 for 2 with the Charizards? Six, 9, 10. All right, there's the chat. All right, Miral, are you here in the chat? If you are, let us know. We're going to wish you good luck. Let's see what you get. African Veteran said, yo, Rusty, where's the beard? And so I actually got a haircut today. I went and paid somebody to cut my hair, and then it made my head look really misshapen. Like I realized I got bumps. I'm not saying I've got like a super like smooth head as it is, but it was a shape that I hadn't seen before. And I wasn't going to say anything because I went there mainly because my wife, she's getting pictures done this Friday, and I was looking pretty rough. You know, I mean, I just let myself go. But I was like, all right, let me just go pay somebody, have them do my haircut. And I paid for it. I was like, okay, whatever. But the guy, when I got back, and my wife was like, is there something wrong with your hair? And then my kids were like, your head looks funny. So I was like, okay. So I actually went back over everything with a 4 to just kind of like hit all the spots he missed. He had left like bangs or something right here. It was kind of weird. I was like, I don't want any bangs. And he's like, oh, do you comb it over? And I'm like, no, I don't want hair that long. Like I just want a fade where it's almost like a buzz on the side and a little bit longer on the top. But he ended up leaving me with bangs, so it wasn't the prettiest haircut. So I ended up hitting it with a 4 just to kind of straighten stuff out. What we got here? Oh, it's a switch. Make sure there's no energy there. But yes, I did get a haircut, and then the beard I just buzzed off because they were going to charge like $10 to trim my beard. I was like, I can do that at home. All right, West Bragg. People butthurt over Rusty DGC grading. Diamond Service grading, DSG grading. Yeah, I did read some of those comments, but you know, I'm used to it. It's fine. Like I get it where people are coming from. They're like, why are you grading with them? But I'm gonna give them a shot. Like I did it before, and it worked out just fine. It's not going to be a company that I grade with all the time, but I know that there are other people who do grade with them because they've reached out to me. Got another gold card. Oh, those are kind of a triple pack there. And you know, if they go back to grade with them, they can at least use the code and get $1 off grading, you know, because there's some people who like swear by robo grading, and DSG is another company that I know one specific person uses quite a bit of, and they'll grade with them and they'll actually try to cross over. Ludo's, oh snap, I forgot about the live. What's your favorite non-WotC packs to open? Ooh. You know, I would open up more Japanese 151 if they have more than 5 cards in the pack. I have to go through so many dud packs in a box, and I can't rip into them really quick. Like, you can't do that. It like bends the cards, so you got to like be more careful with them. So I love an English pack because I can just rip into them much more quickly. And I realize the quality isn't as good as Japanese. I wish the quality was there, but it's not. But I like a set like this. I like not 151. This is 151. I like Crown Zenith. I think that's a really fun set to open. The only problem with Crown Zenith, it doesn't have like a a Charizard chase like this one does. It does have those gold cards, which are all great. You know, Giratina is the best one. But to me, like the Charizard, the Blastoise, Venusaur, they have that wow factor. Like Evolving Skies has the wow factor when you hit the Rayquaza or the Umbreon. Andres says, love my order number. I have to go look at it. Gave him the Caesar. I don't even know what the Caesar is. The only thing I ever get is a fade. Or a buzz. I'd buzz myself though. Andres says, I'm here. Just my son changed my YouTube username to his name. Gotcha, gotcha. All right. So there were your 10 packs, Muriel. Let's see what we got here. You pulled 2 gold, so that was kind of cool. You did get 1 art rare, and then you got 2 regular EXs. And of course, the energies. We'll always throw those in. Candy says, it's actually great to see your transformation over the years as a YouTuber, Rusty. There weren't a lot of emotions in the past, but now you're more talkative and interactive. We love the growth. All right. John says he's getting his, he's going Thursday for his haircut. I waited like 2 months. Dude, 2 months is like nothing. My hair doesn't grow that fast. Usually I trim my beard a couple times before I cut my hair. Or maybe I do them at the same time. All right, here's Michael. Ooh, he's taking a risk. He's buying some Chillin' Rain. Got Chillin' Rain and Lost Origin. So this is order 7001. Michael. And 10 Lost Origin. Usually Lost Origin does better. Chillin' Rain, it's like Fusion Strike and Evolving Skies. I mean, it's usually pretty rough. Alright, so let's see what we got here. I think it's because there's the Galarian Gallery that you can also get. 3, 6, 9, 10. But if you hit something good, usually, you know, there's a nice little reward there. If you get one of the big hits anyways. A standard V. It's like, eh. So we'll start off with the Chilling Rain, or as some people have said, Chilling Pain. Hopefully it won't be Chilling Pain tonight. And then we'll hit Lost Origin. All right, Michael, are you here in the chat? Ooh, I see my wife up in here. How do they know my name? Wrestle Festival is about to get ripped like wildfire for the next month. Yeah, I expect that as well, too. I have a feeling, ooh, starting off with a gold. I'm over here talking bad about Chillin' Rain. You got a gold card right off the bat. I'm talking bad, or I expect those to be some late nights, or it might just be based off how many I've put up for sale. Omar Skin says, I've learned to cut my own hair instead of paying for bad haircuts. I wish I could. I mean, I can do okay, but I don't do very well. Once I get going back here, it's like my hands, they start doing different things. The townies in my neighborhood unironically get bowl. It's haircuts. It's really weird in a trashy way. I used to get the bowl haircut. Man, look at that. You got 2 hits already. What my baby's saying. She said I didn't read the first comment, so the second one didn't make sense. Yeah, I guess the chat hit me. Oh, it dropped me down. I didn't even see Wes Bragg in here. What's up, dude? Have you graded with Rudy Alpha Investments Company yet? I haven't. I've heard him talk about it a few times, but I don't think I've seen much from it. Anna says, brought you up on the TV to keep John busy for a minute, and John just realized what you do on Tuesday nights. He's waving at you. Hey, buddy. Good to see you in here. John, I hope you're still watching. If you are, I love you, buddy. All right, let me see if I can scroll back down a little bit now. All right, see you in a little bit, Wes. John Paline says that he is also John. So you got a pair of Johns. Ghost says, let's see an alt art. I hope so. We saw a Charizard earlier. Saw the big boy. John Penrose says, hi, John. John, I'm also John. So we got 3 Johns in here right now. African Veteran says, good luck, Michael. Chilling Stain. I don't know if I've heard that one. Raining Pain. Zarude. All right, nothing there. Mac Doggy says he's ready for the hosing. Not too bad. I mean, you got 2 hits. Sometimes it doesn't even do that well. You still got a few packs left. Zach says, just curious, are the Fusion Strike packs from a booster box or blisters? It's probably from like collection boxes. Definitely not from booster boxes. I don't break down booster boxes to sell like individual unless the boxes have like damage from the beginning. Like there's sometimes I set aside a few boxes that have damage, so I keep them together, and I might end up selling them later down the road as like a box set, but usually it doesn't get that far. Oh, that's my wife again. All right, 3 hits, not too bad. Nothing good though. All right, so let's do Lost Origins next, or Lost Origin. I think when the set first come out, I said Lost Origins every single time. Hey, I love you too, baby. How'd the math go? Did you finish that up? I know I left you a little frustrated. Cowman says, hi, Johns. I am also John, so we're up to 4 Johns in here right now. John invasion. Hopefully, we can at least match the number of hits with Lost Origin. But we might not. Maybe we'll get a Trainer Gallery. Oh, we got a Radiant. I forgot about the Radiants. There's a Radiant Steelix. Next pack. Nothing there. Man, I wish I'd kept that giant box of Brilliant Stars packs that had the error where every single pack had a Trainer Gallery. That was nuts. Because we opened up on stream, it was like 300 packs or something crazy. It was definitely greater than 200 packs. So Anna says, are all the other Johns also named after their grandfathers? John Penrose confirms. Ooh, nice. Got a Giratina V-Star. Go says he's also John tonight. Close enough, right, Justin? John Pauline says, I'm in fact named after my grand F5. Oh, wow. Does that mean like your great-great-great-grandfather? Christopher Ondo says, my middle name is John after my grandfather. Everybody's bringing it out now. If Pokey Knowledge Cards is in here lurking, he's a John. Not too bad on the hits. You definitely come on much stronger in your last 5 packs for Lost Origin. That Giratina V-Star, probably top hit. Oh, so John says he just meant to say grandfather, not grand F5. I read into it too much. The John battle. All right, let me see what the next order is. Killian, if you're in the chat, let us know, man. I'm about to check out whatever your order was. All right, so he also picked up 10 151 packs, no bulk. Perfect. I had someone say to me today, they were like, hey, why'd you grade that 151 pack? Aren't they like $20 like raw? No, they're not $20 raw yet. They're about $9. Yeah. But even still, the one that I did grade, like both of those, I think I'm asking over $100 for it in a 10. I went 2 for 2 on that set. You know, if I hadn't hit it, you know, I probably would have lost a little bit of money on a 9. But they actually sell pretty decent because the cost is so high, and PSA is the only one who grades packs. How much is a Holland Phantoms booster box going for? My guess, 25 to 30,000. But again, I'm not sure on that. I would just look around. E&A might have one. They always seem to have crazy stuff. West Bragg, you missed all the Johns, man. All right, pack number 1. Nothing there. Nothing in this one. Ghost is calling Blastoise. That's what I just posted on Instagram. I'd grabbed a few of these packs to open up and pull the Blastoise out of one of them. Which I did that probably a week ago. But I was getting ready to send the stuff off to be graded with PSA. So I was like, let's go ahead and just snap a picture. Sam says, is Hidden Fates packs too expensive to aim for to complete a set, or is it somewhat possible? I mean, it's always possible. You just might have to pay out money for it. Like the packs they're still like $20 a pack or something. Because it's like, that's what I sell them for. 10 packs, $200. Pack number 6. Duds so far. Got a water energy. I mean, you're getting some nice looking energies, but nothing too great. Did you pick anything up on Black Friday, Rusty? Not that I know of. I went back to work. Thursday I took off. But no, I didn't do any Black Friday deals. Ooh, all right. Looks like we're gonna be grabbing some packs. Yeah, just buy the single, save yourself a ton of money. 0 hits, so we're going to grab some extra packs. 151 is a set where you're going to get at least 2 hits, or I'm going to give you some free packs. So start off with these 3. If you don't get at least 2 hits out of these 3, we'll just keep rolling. My wife says, your wife did. What did you get, baby? Nah, I know she's always shopping for the family. I think this is the worst streak I've ever seen with 151. At least for like regular hits, because I mean, technically I guess like the holler, because I don't think you get a holler in every set. Alright, there's 3 more. Killian, yeah, it's no problem, man. Nobody wants to have no hits. I mean, that's just like lame. Especially for a set that's supposed to have like a little bit higher hit ratio. Like if this was Fusion Strike or Chilling Rain, it's kind of expected, but you don't really expect it for 151. I wouldn't have called that Chilling Rain would have had 3 hits. And that so far you would only had 1 hit out of what, 16 packs for 151? Like, that's pretty rough. Alright, let's grab another 3 packs. We'll just do 3 pack lots until we get at least 1 more hit. But like if you get a hit in the first pack, we'll go ahead and do the next 2 packs too. African says got a few older magic boxes for cheap. Ooh, there you go. Got a nice little Pikachu. This is the one that I've been buying in the in Japanese and pristine 10. I want to say for about 25 or so. Some of them are a little higher, some of them are a little bit lower. It evens out though. All right, this will be the last pack for you. We haven't seen a God pack in a while. Maybe that's what we're going to get. Ah, nothing there. You know, just for the heck of it, I'm going to do 1 more pack. And then we'll move on. I know order 7003 has been waiting patiently. Oh, there we go. Got a nice little Dragonair to snag. Just add in with the lot. Killian says he's clearing the bad pull wave for everybody else. That's about how it works. I want to say the English Pika, I had it in pristine 10 as well. But that was in on consignment and I sold it. But it did pretty good in auction. Alright, so Zachariah, you are next. Thanks for waiting. If you're in the chat, let us know. Tell us what you're looking forward to pulling too. Order 7003. Which these 151 packs, they could be coming from a couple different things. Oh, he picked up 40 Fusion Strike. This should be fun. I hope I got 40 Fusion Strike right here. I definitely have the amount of these packs. I just don't know if I got 40 right here. Oh yeah, I should. I think I do. All right, let me count them out. Make sure I get the right set. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 3, 4. They're all turned different ways. 10, 12. Now they should be a little better now. I've got them in rows, but then I have extra sitting on top. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Got 3, 6, 9, and 10. All right, so we got 40 Fusion Strike packs. You going for that Gengar? I mean, who wouldn't be going for the Gengar, right? Zachariah. All right, Sam says, I want to try to pull the shiny Charizard from Hidden Fates because I pulled shiny Charmander and the 2 shiny full arts between the Charizard in set number, so I feel like I'm very close to it. I wish it worked like that. Ludo says it's that crystal Pokemon thingy, Matt. Yep. It works better for color than... Man, it's like a bold Luxray. But I think it might just be my eyes. I was trying to see if it had like blurred names to it. Fusion Strike! Are y'all doing like are you saying it in your head like Fusion from Dragon Ball Z? There's Gliscor. Yeah, I think this is the... It's not the... Is this the Terrapagos? I think it's Terrapagos. Unleashed Gamer 335. Do you believe in Crown Zenith long term? I do believe it is a very strong set long term. Its only weakness to me is that it doesn't have like a one really standout card. Like the Giratina, or the gold Giratina V-Star is the best of the golds, and the golds are all nice. And then there's also like the Entei, Suicune, Raikou, and there's several other cards that are good in the set, but I don't think there's any like one card that makes people identify, hey, this set is like, you know, Moonbreon's from Evolving Skies. You know, you've got the Rayquaza too, but Moonbreon really sets itself apart. Espeon and Mew arts are also really nice. I agree with you. So far, no hits. Ludo says Fusion taking a hike. Hopefully not. Zach says, hey brother, here looking for any cool looking cards. Well, so far we've gotten 2 reverse hollow Toxels. Alright, 10. 0 for 10. Have you watched any DB Daima yet, Rusty? I have not. Alright, there we go. Lucario V got a first hit. Are there English dubbed episodes out there? Regular Butterfree. West Bragg says, I believe in everything Pokemon long term, even battle styles. I believe in some sets more than others. Battle styles was never a set that I thought was that great. It's a backwards Pokemon card. Which should be a common, right? Yeah, it's just a common. The Gengar VMAX alt is $400 plus raw right now. Another Toxel. Look at that. Was that 3 reverse hollow Toxels? Hey Rusty, love your content. Is there no username for that? I'm kind of confused. Just Yuri, no long-term Steam Siege, please. Alright, between John Pauline and Just Yuri, where it says, hey Rusty, love your content. Who's that user? Like, I don't see a username. How do you do that? Isaac says it's just starting out now, so they should be dubbing it by next year. Oh, nice. It's not the crazy Gengar VMAX, but there it is. You got one. Still pretty good looking. About missed it. It almost felt like a thick card. It's kind of stuck to it. That code was misprinted. All right, let's see what we got. Which code? We can go back and look at it if you want to. Hello, his name is Hey Rusty. Okay. But it's not gray. It should be gray, though, if it is, right? Westbrack says, but it's crazy how some of the most hated sets become the most wanted, disregarding Steam Siege. Yeah. Evolutions was like that, right? But I think Evolutions is more of a... It was just so saturated. Let me just make sure. Yeah, that's a rare. I'm like double guessing myself now with the reverse holo, making sure that I feel it. There's Genesec V. John says every single sealed booster box has appreciated in value over time. No other collectible has done that. Oh yeah, I mean I agree. I mean I set back boxes, especially the modern stuff now when I can get it in at release. It doesn't mean that it's going to appreciate at a good rate, you know what I mean? Most of them do, but not always. You just got to hit the right year. Steam Siege is not fun to open, but you know what else is not fun to open? Emerging Powers. That is a black and white set with 2 PSA 10 full arts that aren't that easy to grade, that are still really not worth much money at all. It's Tornadus and Thundurus, and that's about it. You know, people bought that set when it come out because they needed Pokemon Catcher. It's like a Gust of Wind, or it's Prime Catcher, but not an A-Spec. It's just like a regular item. But that was the only reason to open up Emerging Powers, pretty much. Battle Styles has some pretty good stuff in it. Ooh, there you go. Nice Mew V. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, Battle Styles has some good stuff in it. It's just so hard to pull. It's really not worth it. But I guess if you price compare that to other sets, then you know maybe it is. It's a good looking Mew. John says Emerging Powers is absolutely the worst set of all time. It's. I would rather open up Steam Siege than Emerging Powers, especially for the price. Because I like Volcanion. I think there's still Professor Sycamore and a few other decently okay cards that you can kind of say, all right, maybe I can work with that. But it's really hard to work with Thundurus and Tornadus. We got the Mew VMAX. Starting to warm up a little bit with Fusion Strike. Maybe these last 9 packs will do really well. Westbrag says Steam Siege is around $400 or $500 or $600 a booster box, though not worthless. Yeah, it's just like if you open it, like there's really not much you can pull from it. Like there's no reason to open it. Really, it's gonna hold that price because people just want to collect some sealed stuff. Man, I'm going off the screen up here. I gotta bring it back down a little bit. In my opinion, any set with Blaziken is a great set. I mean, that's a good Blaziken. The Gardevoir Secret Rare is awesome. Man, I used to open up so much of those sets. I just have like stacks of those gold cards. African Veteran says, do you set back sealed product from any other TCGs? Feels a little thicker, but it's not. I do some with Yu-Gi-Oh, but not a lot. What's up, Ray? Good to see you in here, man. I think you were the last question I answered or spoke to. I can't remember if I think it was a question. Maybe it wasn't. On Instagram right before I jumped into the live. Mint Charizard, are you willing to send cards to PSA? Oh, look, another backwards card. Common. Last time it was what, Onyx? To PSA that are open live. Yeah, I can. Just reach out to my email here. It's something that I used to do more of, but I can do PSA and I can do CGC as well. There's going to be a little bit of a markup though, just because a lot of it has to deal with the just the handling of the cards and the time that I put into it. But I'll do it if you want me to. But it'll be cheaper if you do it yourself, unless it's like one card, because then shipping can really hit you hard if you're only doing one card. Programmers coming in with the gifted membership. Oh, we might actually have a little hit here. I think there's a little bit of dark something there for the last pack. Who got it? Oh, look at that. Ray got it. he got the membership from Programmers. All right, and it looks like we're going to finish off with a Chandelure. So, unfortunately, we did not pull the alt art, but you did hit a few decent cards. It's just they weren't the alt art. You got the Mew VMAX, you got a nice looking regular Mew, and then you had a nice looking Gengar VMAX as well. Uh-oh, Programmers. He's coming in with another membership. PR was gifted a membership by Programmers. As always, we appreciate your generosity, man. Zachariah, maybe next time we'll get the Gengar. I don't know if I've ever pulled one. Well, no, I think I pulled one Gengar. I think I've only pulled one Gengar ever in stream. Well, I used to sell a lot more Fusion Strike. That was like the set when I first started streaming. It was like $24.99 for 10 packs. It was like super cheap. All right, I'm going to refresh it, see if there's been any more orders put in. Okay, so it looks like we have Patrick, you're up next, then Michael, Anthony, Josh. So we have 4 orders in line right now. All right, let's see what Patrick picked up. I don't even know what packs I have available on the site. So it looks like he picked up 10 151 packs as well. And 10 Fusion Strike. Nice. Every time I see Patrick as a name now, I think about Patrick Starr saying, "My name is not Rick," when they took that eraser to his name. I don't know why that particular scene comes up, but it just always does. All right, let me get the 151 and then also the Fusion Strike. We'll start off with the Fusion Strike and then we'll finish with the 151. If we hit with the Fusion Strike, of course, that's going to be the bigger hit. You know, if we get that Gengar VMAX. But I think 151 is always more likely to hit, so I try to end with the more likely hits. 3, 6, 9, and 10. All right, so let's do Fusion Strike first. Hopefully it won't be like the first 10 packs that we saw. Ludos, you do PSA grading. I'm doing more of it now. I've got a few additional outlets for PSA graded cards. So, yeah. I know in the past it's been mostly CGC that I've offered out as a service. But it's definitely not something that I advertise or that I have like actively available on the website. It'd just be kind of like a, you know, I'll do it because we opened it up during the live. I don't think I can get you any kind of like pedigree through PSA now. I can get you a pedigree on anything opened up in a live through CGC, but not with PSA. Ghost says we pulled that Mew alt art a few weeks ago. Yeah, it was the VMAX, right? Gengar is definitely one of my favorite Pokemon. Ghost says might be a late night this week. Yeah, it might be. There you go. You got a nice Cinderace VMAX. Gosh, man, that is a big looking furball. Ludo says still have my Evo pack on eBay to afford new Rusty pack art sets. There you go. Trade that sucker in. Ludo says need to afford those Skyridge art set. Whew, Skyridge, man. Africa says, how are you shipping stuff with a postal strike going on at Ludo's Games? Okay, so that wasn't directed at me. So for those of you who don't know, USPS, I believe it's USPS, right? or Canada Post, USPS. They're on strike in Canada. So if you send through USPS, I think it ends up with the Canada Post. So that causes some problems. Now with Fusion Strike, this really isn't a set that I do like the guaranteed 2 hits, but I'm gonna throw in three more packs. So if we get more hits in here, we'll do that. But we won't like keep going with these 2 to get 2 hits. I think I did that one night with Chilling Reign because it was at like 28 packs, no hits or something crazy. Grizzy says, hey Rusty, any evolutions? Ooh, nice. You got a Gengar VMAX too. No, I don't have any evolutions. John says, what Postal Strike? I've been getting mail. Are you in Canada? Maybe I've misspoken here. Nick says, just showed up. Anything cool open? Yeah, we pulled a Zard from 151. I think that's probably the top card. Ludo says, it's extra shipping, but it ships. Oh, okay. Alright, got a Zapdos and a Darkness Energy. No problem, Patrick. It's not really much fun when you only get, well, 0 hits. We won't let that fly. But if you only get 1 hit, that's not really much fun either. But know that it is definitely possible. Probably more likely to get 1 hit than like 3 hits. 2's, I think, is probably the most likely scenario. There's a Wigglytuff for like Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign, that kind of stuff. John says, no, I'm in New Jersey. Well, it makes sense. You should be getting mail. Venusaur. How many people in here have already gotten snow this year? Like, we haven't. Apparently everybody around us got snow. Like, it hits the mountains and then like it skips over our county and then everybody else gets snow. Grizzlies, Rusty, it's going to be hard to buy from you when Trump puts 25% tariffs on Canada. Nah, that's not how it's going to work. People adjust. Now, when it comes to conversions, man, I feel like we get hit so many ways. Like, if you, like, just PayPal alone, like, oh man, they sneak in so many fees with conversions and things. It's crazy, and then you don't get any coverage. Ray says, Rusty, you have a spare base set Blastoise and Venusaur to sell. I don't. I might have a Venusaur. It's like a low grade, though. I mean, I don't know what grade you're looking. Virial says, we don't expect Canada Postal Strike to end soon. Ooh. Last pack, man. Look at that. Got the Venusaur. We got the regular EX, but you pulled the big one. Yeah, definitely nice in. So, like, that was your last hit for the Fusion Strike, and that was your last hit for the 151. Ludo, since you don't have Evo Rusty, I'm still willing to trade. Yeah, maybe we could do something. Rizzy says tons of snow here. Ghost says no snow, but it's been below 40 for the past few days. We haven't gotten up to 50 in the past few days. Like today, I mean, it was pretty cold. Probably about 19 this morning. Which I'm sure for some of you that's like, oh, you know, that's not that cold. But for here, that's pretty cold, especially when it's still technically fall. All right, Michael, you're next. Let's see what he picked up. He picked up 10 Chilling Reign. All right. What's the hit you want from Chilling Reign? Maybe we'll pull it. Although I don't think anybody's pulled what they said they wanted so far. So maybe call something else. Tyler says, had first snowfall this year on Turkey Day in Maine. Really? I would have thought maybe Maine would have had snow already. Do you get much lake effect snow in Maine, where you're at? Sam Wise says, I got a little bit of snow in Indiana. Pamela, none yet, just showers, but we're having below freezing temperatures, so hoping for a white Christmas. White Christmas doesn't really happen here. Man, look how OC that is. John says, those people in the mountains are in bad shape still. They need real help and aren't getting it. Yeah, I know that they were setting up tents, and our local handymen are helping out with some tiny homes that are being donated, like for people to temporarily live in up there. So I know there's still help. It's just, I mean, it's tough because some of those places were wiped off the map. One guy who comes here and does some work for me, he's in the National Guard, and they're pretty much full time now. You know, working on that. It's going to be a long process. African said it snowed the last day of November a little, and that was it. All right, John says Blaziken VMAX Alt. Rugged. What in that pack? Pamela, some temps are 23, 28 freezing. Freezing is 32 at 0C, so it's below freezing. Yeah, but I mean, we got like acid and stuff too. Like that kind of stuff in our rain, so I think that affects the temperature a little bit. It's weird because like where we're at, usually we get a little bit colder temperatures in like compared to the other cities in our county, but we almost always miss the moisture. Ghost, you're in Washington State. Ooh, nice. Blissy V. Is this an alt art? I don't know why I thought this was a trainer gallery card. But it's numbered like a regular full art. So you guys let me know if that's an alt art or not. It looks nice. Yeah, Ghost says it is. Ooh, you did get the Blaziken VMAX, just not the alt art. You got the alt art in the pack right before it. Ah, oh, so close. Looks like you did not have chilling pain. The chilling rain is hitting okay today. And last pack, nothing there. That was a pretty good 10 packs for chilling rain. Spreading around the love a little bit tonight. Got a couple SIRs. Now we got us an alt. Ghost said, yeah, my state is beautiful, but the social/political aspects are embarrassing. Where'd you say you were from? Was that the Washington one? Washington State? I've never been there. Let's see who we have next. We've got Anthony, and he picked up 20 Fusion Strike. All right, no bulk here. Let's see if we can get something out of the next 20 packs. Just pulled an alt there. Maybe we can do it again. Let's see how many we got here. 3, 6, 9, 10. 3, 6, 8. And 10. All right. PR says that's an alt. Ness says it is. Pac-Man, how close are you to OBX? That may not be for me because I don't even know what that is. Matt in, oh, so he's talking to Matt. I'm in Mount Vernon, Washington. Wish it were warmer, but agreed, it's beautiful. Hope one day when our kids have gotten out of the house, if my wife and I are in a position we can travel, I hope to do that with her one day. just travel around from different place to different place. But I have a feeling we're going to have grandkids and all kinds of other stuff, aren't we, baby? We'll see. Chris Rondo, there is a Silver Tempest Blissey trainer gallery that looks similar. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Pamela, I'm in Maryland where everyday temps and weather can be super random, rarely consistent this year. I've been back reminded a year after in Europe. Usually, like we have about a 25 to like 30 degree temperature variance from like the morning to the evening. More so in the summer because I guess there's more sunlight. There's just more hours in the day. But after like a thunderstorm, once you get into like that late July, August, I mean, it's like a thunderstorm, 30 to 50% chance every evening. It'll get up to about 95, and then if the thunderstorm hits, it'll be about 70 degrees right after it. Then it gets super humid if it doesn't happen late afternoon. Sam, is it cheaper to buy the Blaziken VMAX Alt Art or try to pull it? Well, I mean, you could pull it in one pack, or it could take you 1,000 packs. You just really never know. Like if you buy it, then that's the surefire thing, and you probably have a better chance of, like, if you spend say $200 on the card. I don't know how much it is. Like that's probably going to be a better bet than buying $200 worth of Chilling Reign packs. Yeah, you're going to have all the extra stuff that you could possibly sell to make up for it, but if all you're going for is the Blaziken VMAX, probably just going to be better to buy the card. Tyranitar V. Once a set is like in that plus EV type deal, that's when people are just like buying it up like crazy. Ludo says one of my favorite cards is Chansey base set. Well, it was a beast back in the day. Got the Boltund. Nick says, I'm in Seattle and have a coworker who lives in Mount Vernon. New Jersey weather can't ever make up its mind. No, I hear you guys on that. The most frozen precipitation we've gotten this year was back in May. We had so much hail. I mean, it looked like you could go out there and just make snowballs out of stuff. It was crazy. It was actually the first time that Pokemon Wonder came here. As soon as he left, I mean, it was like this crazy hailstorm that come through. Pac-Man says OBX is Outer Banks. Oh, that makes sense. I've seen that before. Wow, look at that. The third Gengar VMAX. I mean, it's just the regular one, but we're due. We got to get the Alt Art right. Matt says weather in Western Washington is really consistent. Consistently gray, always except for 3 months or so. Well, usually in the winter it's dry here. It's pretty cold. It's not like northern cold or nothing like that, but cold enough to where you feel it. Still got to scrape off the frost every morning. Ghost, we had some great weather this summer though, like 3 to 4 weeks of 75 to 85 in sunshine. I mean, that's pretty good for summer, yeah. Like a little bit cooler, kind of like more like fall weather. Knock off about 10 degrees. July was one of the hottest here, 110. 110? Wow. We rarely see 100 here. I mean, we get pretty close to 100 a lot, but maybe 5 days during the summer hit 100. Zach says the regular VMAX Gengar is $13. Yeah, still a pretty cool card. It's just not, like the really good one. Weedle's Warehouse. Hey, Rusty, any hits from Gym Challenge? So far, nobody has bought one, so I got a sealed box. I do plan to at least open up one pack during the video, even if nobody buys any of them. Which it'd kind of be a shame to break the box, too. Internet person says, saving the alt art for me. Well, ideally, everybody get an alt art, right? These are loose packs. There's no guaranteed odds. Be nice if we could hit multiple, but that has not been the case. All right, order 7007. All right, so we have Josh who picked up 2 Surging Sparks booster boxes. Bam, somebody's going for that Pikachu. Is that what you want? Let us know what hits you want in the chat, Josh. Oh, this. There we go. Ow. There's 1 and 2. I pushed off that one. I've been slow selling these Surging Spark boxes, man, on eBay. I recently increased my case up to $1,400 because I sold out at $1,250, and I was like, I'm already too far in my collection. I'm down to like 45 cases or so. I'll probably like slow sell them down to about 30, and then I might just like take a break and not sell them after that. At least for a while, anyways. Pamela said, oh yeah, most of July and August was like that. Red heat warning. Some were 115/118. What? That's like crazy heat. Guido says, who's going in on the box with me? You might be alone, man. Nice Vivillon. Here's the box. Still nice and fresh. Got this off of E&A. Which, I don't know if you guys saw it. If any of you have looked, there is a, I think it's like a $25 discount. I think that's what it is. For opening live over shipping. I haven't did that in a while, but because so many people have been having like the vintage stuff shipped sealed, I am offering a discount to have it opened up. Pac-Man, that Altart Gengar VMAX is going for over 400 raw. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Pokey Fanboy, any giveaways this week? Yeah, we'll do one at the very end of the stream, whenever that comes. I think we're doing pretty good. Like, this is the longest live we've had in a while, but we'll see how many orders are lined up after these 2 boxes. But yeah, we'll have a giveaway at the end of the week, or at the end of the stream. Nice little Jet Energy. Picked you up one of the golds. Poke Fanboy says good luck on the Pikachu. So African Veteran says good luck. Ghost says he wants the Pikachu. I must have missed his comment. Whoops. Internet person says I'm calling Latias and Gold Pika. There's Archaludon. Poke Fanboy says I pulled the Pikachu from a Zapdos blister. I was shaking. Really? Well, congrats on that. There's a Drayton. Alright, that's 2 gold stars, so I want to say that's an SIR, right? I'm missing no. Ghost says, geez, glad I bought when they were $900. Zach says, any news for the 151 Japan reprint? I think they've already did it, right? Like, it was supposed to come in December, but it actually come in like mid-November. Maybe I'm wrong. John says, I bought 1 box for $109 from Football Pete for my PC. I should have bought more. Yeah, see, when I was putting in my pre-orders, he already had those boxes up. They were like $102, something like that. I was like, I ended up putting in for roughly 75 cases because I was like, I don't think the set's going to be that great, but at the same time, let me just go ahead and keep my numbers up for when a good set comes around. And by the time the set release hit, I mean, they had already went up 50%. Because I sold several cases at, yeah, I want to say it was 1,000, and I was not the cheapest at release. I sold you guys several boxes, I want to say at 150. Wheatl's Warehouse. Do you weigh the packs and rip heavies / ship lights? So with the gym challenge, because I've never been that great with it, what I'll do is if I'll pull your pack out, and if you want me to weigh it live, I will, but I can't guarantee whether or not it's going to be heavy or light. I don't even know, like, I'm only going to weigh that one pack, so if you're the first one, we won't even know what the weights are for heavy and light, or what we might think is heavy and light. And even before, when I did this, I think I went through and I weighed everything, and it was like I took the top 12 heavy packs, but I want to say only 10 for Gym Challenge end up having a hollow in them. So we could we could butcher that. So if you want me to weigh it, I will, and then you can just call whether or not you want to have it shipped sealed or open. I will have to leave the camera for a second and go grab a scale, but we can do that. Pamela, I would buy a pack of Gym Challenge, but I bought one before I knew at 400 and scared to open it if it's light. Yeah, you can find individual packs for less than what I have them at, but I'm basing it off of, I know this is a sealed box, and I had to pay sealed box prices for it. Saving right now for PSA returns, sent 20 to GameStop, and waiting on processing. I've sent several packs off to PSA as well. I thought about sending off ones, like busting it and try to sell the heavies, and just eating it on a few of them, and then taking the lights and sending them to PSA, because I've done that in the past and it worked out all right. But even like a PSA 10 for Gym Challenge, I mean, it was pretty tough to get. I did get a few, but they were like $500-600, something like that. And the 9s, I mean, they were roughly the price of a light. Ludo's looks like winter arc of people getting back into Pokemon has started. People get bored, they get stuck inside, they want to open some Pokemon. Pamela says, will for sure be upcharged, have some legendary collection reverse foils I sent in with 10 possibly. Hey, you know what, if you get the 10, you get that upcharge, that's great. Ghost says, not the Drayton, must not be the good SIR. I mean, I know Pikachu's the best, right? A Alolan Executor. Maybe we'll get another SIR in the next box. So I imagine my wife, if she's still listening, she's a champ. But she was up most of the night. And we had an early morning because my alarm went off at 5:30. And so I ended up just getting up about 15 minutes later. She ended up walking in there. And so I know she got up and she's been doing stuff about all day long. Plus missing her sleep from last night. And she has a migraine. So if she's still up, that would be highly surprising. But I imagine she's done clocked out for the night. Hopefully she has. If she hasn't, she about needs to. Bruxious. Zach says, what's been pulled from Legend Maker? Nothing. Every single pack that was bought was shipped sealed. So I've just got 8. Is it Legend Maker? Yeah, I've just got 8 unweighed packs. I have no idea what's left in them. Nobody's reported back to me, hey, I got a gold star or an EX or anything like that. So I have no clue. It's wide open. Tatsurgi. Looks like she's still here. Y'all watching a movie? Well, I mean, I guess you've got this on. You still working on that office? It's got stuff all over the place. She's been like wrapping presents for this family and for this family. I haven't wrapped a single present yet. I've got some presents, but I kind of put it off. Anna, love you, baby. She says, migraine has went down to a headache and I'm purging. So for any of you who are Pokemon geeks and wondering what purging is, I wouldn't have known. I would have thought something different, but that's just where she's like going through and getting rid of like a lot of the kids' clothing and that kind of stuff. Which is good for space, you know. I've got like 5 outfits. that I wear over and over and over again. And when I run out, I go to bulkapparel.com and I order stuff like this t-shirt. A couple bucks. Now, we did, for Christmas, I got them. Got some hoodies. I get really big hoodies because I don't like them small, especially if they shrink up. It's like the worst when you have an oversized hoodie, or you want it to be oversized, but then the air creeps in at your wrists because it's too short. So I don't like that. So I go with a 3XL on my hoodies now. 2XL fits me just about anyone until it gets washed. But like a shirt, I'm a large. So like I'm not a big guy. It's just hoodies, I want them big. Like I don't want a tiny hoodie. But on there, they've got hoodies for pretty good price. If you can wear like a large or an extra large, you can get them for like $10 a piece, something like that. I think if you spend over $75, it's free shipping too. Codfish, Rusty, ever think of doing some black and white Arrow booster box breaks? I'd throw down for that. I've done a few in the past. Really, the only one that's super fun is Legendary Treasures. I think the rest of them are just, like, there's just so few hits. But we've done them in the past. I think we did really good with, no, that was Generation 4. We did, what was it? It was the one with the Palkia Legend. I think that was the one, or we hit the Lugia. We did a Call of Legends, I think. But if I did black and white, I would recommend Legendary Treasures just because that's going to be the most fun with the Radiant Collection. You're going to have more chances at a hit. But there are other sets I would consider. It's just getting people to buy in on it. Pamela says, I also sent in Suicune and Raikou halves from Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Suicune Entei sets. I noticed they have swirls on them when I took that video on Proof Backup. So excited. Growing impatient for grades. Yeah, I think we all do. I've never been the guy who, when I get that email, your grades are available, that I ignore it. I just go look at it, get it over with, and when the stuff comes in, you know, I know what it is. Maybe by the time I actually get them, I forget. Anna says, watching you, the kids have their Pokemon cards out, comparing what they have to do, or what they have to what you're pulling. Nice. Maybe they can come up here and we can get some bulk cards out for them. Luda says, I kept mine sealed for my collection, Rusty. The Legend Makers. There you go. See? Ludo's picked up some. Hey, Lewis. Having a good night? Come on. I haven't seen the illustration rare, like, yeah, or the special rare, the art rare for the Latias or the Latios tonight. African Vendor says, I don't wear hoodies. I feel too hot. Well, you can always take a hoodie off. But, like, I wear shorts and I wear hoodies. That's pretty much all I wear during the fall and the winter. Probably for a good bit of spring, too. Guy says, I'm a 2XL for that very reason. Clothes shrink too much over time, and I rarely buy clothes. Yeah, I mean, like, this is what I wore. I mean, here we go. That's my 2XL, the Charizard Authority hoodie. I've had that since... I'll probably wear this thing, like, I don't know, maybe 50 times during a season. But it's done. It's already done. It's shrinking, so it's set. That was for Ghost. Codfish, 100%. I was hoping you'd say Legendary Treasures. I think those are about 4K right now. I had somebody offer me one for, I want to say 37, but I was at 35, and we didn't end up coming to a deal. Ludo says you did Boundaries Cross as well. Yeah, that sounds right. I think we tried doing Plasma Blast. Can't remember if we pulled anything good from it, though. John, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Arrow is one of the best arrows ever. Beautiful arts, great pull rates, and borders of the cards are second to none. For a while, it was like a dud arrow. Nobody cared about it. It's crazy how like history just like changes its perception. I think someone was saying that earlier. Except for, you know, some of the sets like Emerging Powers. Ghost says, I've never been able to ignore my grade reveal email either from PSA. And it's like, this is what I've been waiting for. I'm going to go find out right now. Come on, Pikachu. We're still looking for you. We've seen the double silver star, but no double gold star Pika tonight. Cast form. Got the sunny. Got the rainy. Anna says, Josh, or Sarah says, Josh is getting a lot of cards. That's what we do. Right, Josh? Ghost says, Surging has some tough pulls. It reminds me of Evolving Skies in that the hits are tough to pull, but valuable when you do. But what I like about Surging Sparks is that you still have decent like pulls, like pull rates anyways. Evolving Skies, man, they can be brutal. Pamela says, oh yeah, impatient because I'm putting it as down payment towards my dream car. Been 2 years since I had one. Also, why patience is not my forte at the moment with waiting on grades. Well, I hope you do well. Ghost says sick hoodie. There we go. I gave away a lot of the Charizard Authority and TCA Gaming shirts I had from the shop when everybody visited back during the summer. Weedle's Warehouse for Japanese base set boxes that don't say for sale in Japan only. Does that mean they are more likely to contain no rarity cards? It's believed to be that way because it is supposedly, like, this is all hearsay. I don't know from my end that this stuff has been proven, but it may have been. The ones that don't say that don't say they're for sale in Japan only, supposedly those were first. And we would think that because those are first, then, hey, the ones that were no rarity, which we also think was first, it would have a better chance at having those than ones that do say for sale in Japan only. So there's a lot of big ifs there. So I wouldn't jump to any conclusions, but generally it's accepted those are going to have the better chance. Though I've never seen anybody open one and have no rarity. I'm sure there are videos of people out there doing it. I've never seen it. Haven't really looked for it. Rare Bros. Man, I haven't opened cards in so long. Glad to see you are doing well, Rusty. Well, thank you, man. Thanks for coming in here and joining the chat. I take it African Veteran likes him a cast form. I think that looks like a heart with some eyes and some hands holding them up. What's up, WCM? Ludo says, come on, Pika. We got a few packs left. 3 to do it. Surfer. 2 packs to go. The SIR Pika doesn't seem to me like a last pack type of card. Or does it? Nothing there. Just had the gouging fire. All right, Josh, we're gonna run back through your hits from your 2 boxes. You did have 1 SIR, but apparently it was the Brofu. The Brofu, is that? I don't even know how you say it. There's the Drayton, and you had 1 gold card with the Jet Energy. So not the expensive ones, but it happens. I think who had the 2 boxes earlier? They didn't have any SIRs, but I think both of the single boxes did. All right, Ghost said still have the TCA Gaming knife displayed in my living room. Got to oil it up. Now that I mention it, yeah, you gotta keep that thing oiled. It's like a Blackstone grill. It's not stainless. WCM TCA Gaming. Is there a formal process to start consigning cards for others, or do you just start doing it? I just started doing it. People wanted me to sell stuff for them, so I was like, okay. And then once I started doing that, like I would show some of it on YouTube, and then other people were like, hey, could you consign my stuff? So it just kind of turned into a business. All right, Matt, I'll come back and read your comment here in a minute. I'm going to see if there's been more orders put in. Okay, we have one order lined up. This is for Jason. And then after that, we will be, I guess we'll be, nothing in the lineup. Unless somebody buys between now and the time that I finish up his order. All right, so Jason picked up 10 Fusion Strike packs. People want that Gengar. That's presumably. Is that the one you want? I mean, I don't think anybody's going to be unhappy with that. Matt says Surging Spark seems to be like the Pika version of Obsidian Flames. Would be cool to get something similar for both Venusaur and Blastoise as well. I mean, they got good releases. I don't think you can build a set around Venusaur or Blastoise, though. Pack number 1, got a Boltund. Guy says Gaifu or Brofu. I can't keep up with all this. But now I know. A nice little Starmie. Ludo says, Ghost, I have a TCA signed Meowth VMAX PSA 10. I don't know how you did that. Maybe I signed the case. Yeah, if you guys ever buy anything on eBay and you want a signed card or a signed case or something, I don't mind putting it on there. Candy Player, what's our streaming schedule? Right now it's every Tuesday, but I may take off a few weeks here in December. I'll keep you guys posted, but for the most part, just assume that's going to be Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Cinderace. Zach says, just confirming Fusion is sold out. If it is, then yeah, we'll be sold out for tonight. Grimmsnarl. 3 packs left. Ghost says 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It should be 8 p.m. Eastern Time, or if EAT is PSO, I guess it'd be 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, right? Yeah, I just do once a week streaming right now. Gumi. All right, last pack for Fusion Strike. What are we going to get? Oh, I thought it was going to be something silver. Look at the way the silver is on that Sandshrew. We'll give you 1 pack to grow on. Can we pull anything? Oh, we did. Got a Greninja. What the heck? We got a reverse holo, a holo, and a V. Is that right? 3, 6, 9, 12. No, that was an extra card. That's pretty cool. There was 13 cards in that Fusion Strike pack. If only I'd waited, maybe I could have sold it to somebody. It's like a mega heavy pack, right? All right, Jason. Sorry, man. No Altart Gengar. You did pull 3 regular Vs. It's crazy how many packs actually have like extra cards in them, or a card upside down or backwards. Let's see what we got over here. All right, I'm gonna refresh the orders one more time, see if anybody jumped in last second. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna bust this box, and I'm gonna just bust the first pack. Now, if it has a Blaine's Charizard, I guess that's good for me. Maybe not. All right. I don't think people would want the other packs as much. All right, here we go. Put those there. So let's have some fun. What are you guys going to call? Because if you don't know, odds are 1 in 3 that I have a 1 in 3 shot at this being a holo. So it could just be like, a Giovanni's Pinsir or something like that. Or worse, it'd be like a trainer. If we're going to make it a trainer, let's do like Giovanni's Last Resort or something like that. I'll probably grade most of these anyways. Here we go. Ludo's Mega Heavy Fusion Strike 2058 with the rest of his grandkids. We're just going to bust it. The kids said good night. We love you. Good night, baby. Good night, kids. See you guys tomorrow. Alright, Michael's calling Arcanine. Candy Player's calling Gengar. Gengar. Everybody wants to see the Gengar. I would definitely like to see the Gengar as well after I get through fighting this rapper. Hopefully it's not the second card in the pack because I think I just saw a trainer. Okay, it's transparent walls. Maybe it's the second from the back. Is there an energy back there? Yeah, there's an energy back there. Zard, Raichu, Fearow, Zard, Hollow Water type, busted. Everybody's calling hollows. They're going for big boys. Got the Voltorb, Nidoran, Geodude, Fervor, Clefairy. All right, so that's one uncommon. Blaine's Rapidash. Garbodad says, I call base set Charizard. The Blaine's Moltres is, I guess you can get, I think both Blaine's and Rocket's Moltres is Gym Heroes, isn't it? I can't remember. Sabrina's Mr. Mime. Sam's Weiss, he's calling it the non-hollow trainer. Ooh, Brock's Ninetales. Did somebody call that? Smooth. So we are down one hollow pack for this box. Nice. Beautiful looking edges. The only thing I would say that is going to keep it from getting like a pristine 10, so this would probably want to send a PSA because I think it still has a shot at a PSA 10, but the centering, you can see the centering isn't perfect. It's a little bit shifted to the right. It's got this side's smaller than the other side. Now I will say that Charizard 151 Charizard that had a little bit better centering than this one. So this one might be stuck in the 9 range. I don't know. But it still looks really good. One of the longest attacks ever. Well, not even attack, Pokemon power. That's a good looking Brock's Ninetales. Very cool. So at least we get to see one gym challenge pack opened up tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check, see if there's been any more orders. Well, actually, I'll give you guys a chance to buy in. If you already bought in, it's going to be after the giveaway. I'm going to do a giveaway right now. Let's see, what are we going to give away? Since I've only got a few left, let's do 6, 9. We're actually going to do 12 Fusion Strike packs. Whatever hits we get out of the Fusion Strike packs, that'll go to the winner. So let me go figure out how we're going to do the giveaway. Let's do, I'm going to do it based off of activity. So if you've been active in the last 10 minutes, you should be eligible to, yeah, there's 75 entries right now. Pretty much if you've been active in the last 10 minutes in the chat, then you should be eligible to be in this giveaway. So all you got to do is make sure you've been chatting, at least chatting a little bit. But whatever hit we get out of Fusion Strike, whatever hits there are, if there's none, there's none. We'll make sure you get at least one hit. So if there's 3 Gengar VMAXs, you're going to get all 3. You're not going to get 3 Gengar VMAXs. But who knows, right? All right, so nothing in pack number 1. And then if you still want to get in, have something opened up live tonight, I'm going to check that after the giveaway. Toxicity. See Hayden in here now. Pack 3 dud. Pack 4 dud. Yeah, there's got to be at least one hit. If there's not one hit here, we'll open up something else. SMPL Hobbies. LOL, I wasn't chatting prior as I was 1.25 catching up on stream. Well, I'm glad you caught up. See, Sam says he's calling 2 V cards. Well, right now we're on pace for nothing. Ooh. Well, it's a Greedent VMAX. Not the Gengar that we would hope for. Yeah, that was a pack that just got destroyed. Ooh, got a Chandelure VMAX. All right. Haven't seen that. That kind of looks cool. Westbrack says he's going to catch this one. Oh, there's a Balton V. What was that? 0 for like 6 or 0 for 5, 0 for 7. And then we go 3 for 3. All right, nothing there. Come on, maybe in this one. Maybe in this one. All right, we can't end on a dud. So we're going to open up until we get one more hit. I'll put a little stack right there. So next hit, we'll end it. We'll end the giveaway anyways. Oh, there we go. Got an Elisa's Sparkle. 4 hits. That's not too bad for Fusion Strike. All right, let's see who the winner is. Look at that. Programmers. That's crazy. Got somebody who's always in here giving away stuff to other people. All right, programmers. About time you got something coming back your way, man. I mean, it's not much, but that's awesome, dude. Still missed the West Bragg. Eventually, you'll get one, man. There we go. Hey, man, make sure you send me your delivery address, and I'll get this sent out to you. All right, I'm going to check the orders one more time. Make sure nobody else has gotten in here. If there's been any orders, then we'll continue opening up. And if there haven't, then we're going to call it there. Christopher, you got your order in. You slid it in just in time. Let's see what he picked up. Ooh, look at that. He picked up a repack and 10 Hidden Fate packs. No bulk. Got a high roller here. Oh, this is Weedle's Warehouse. What's up, man? 10 Hidden Fates. And then 1 repack. Nobody has hit the Lugia yet, so that's still lurking. I want to say there might be a Charizard still lurking. I know there's at least 1 Venusaur lurking, if I'm thinking right. So let me just grab one of these out of here. There's that. And then we'll get your 10 Hidden Fates packs. 3, 6, 7, and 10. All right, guys. You guys wish him luck. Put those over here. So there was no code this time. It was just based off of you being active in the chat. Because it seems like the codes have a tendency to pick the same winners over and over again. So I was trying to just do something a little different. But we'll do this first, and then we'll do your Hidden Fates since those were more expensive. All right, so you got a Dragonite. This is actually the one that is I have the least of right now, the yellow version with the Dragonite, so that's pretty cool there. Programmers, oh, thanks for the super chat, man. He says, I'll email you shortly. I was going to let someone else have it, but my wife said no. There you go. You got to have a little something for yourself. All right, here we go. All right, so starting off pretty good. You got a nice little Arcanine right here. I really like the Arcanine and the Gyarados from the set. This is just like the regular Scarlet and Violet, right? So this, I guess, would be Scarlet. The Gyarados might be Violet. Weedle's Warehouse says, trying to complete the Hidden Fates Master Set. Nick, old school Pokemon, pulled me the Shiny Umbreon GX not too long ago. Trying to get me another full art Shiny. I hear you on that one. All right, you got a Veluza. Drapion V-Star. Victini EX, Cassiopeia, Regigigas V. There you go. You got a nice shiny full art Alakazam EX, Charcadet, and I think you've got one more card. Oh, you just got the big hit, man. You pulled the Lugia V. I told you guys this was in one of these still. Looks like the centering is off on this one. That's unfortunate, but still, I think this is the biggest hit that you can get out of the repacks. Like I said, I think there are a few other hits, but they're nothing as good as the Lugia V. Bam. You got it. We got about halfway through. I think we still got about half of the repacks maybe left. Boom. It's going to be hard to top that one. I don't even think you can top that, right? Because the SV49 isn't even worth as much as the Lugia V. But you pulled it, dude. The repacks are $100, but know that like that's going to be like the top repack. Like most of the like you could get almost nothing but V's in it. It's pretty much 9 hits plus you get like one of these. It's like just about anything else. Like don't expect to get Lugia V's in every one of them. In fact, there's only one Lugia V that was in the original lot of, I want to say 43 of them. All right, so there's pack number 1. But they cost $100, mainly because there were a few hits like that. Like there was the Charizard from 151, a couple Venusaurs. I think the SIR Charizard's already been pulled out of them. There's a gold Charizard, and those it pulls the price up. David says, that's what I get for not submitting my repack by a few minutes ago. Dang. Sorry, man. All right, got a Rowlet. No, thank you for buying in, dude. Ludo says, I thought it was the Neo Lugia. That would be good too, for sure. All right, Hidden Fates. Here we go. So, W Sim says, honestly, one of my favorite cards ever. I have it in a CGC 10. You talking about the Lugia V? There's a baby shiny. I think he said he wanted another full art shiny Umbreon. Candy says, wait, where's the link to the repacks, Rusty? So if you go to the top of the chat, where that'll link you to anything that's available for opening in the live. The repack should be in there, I would think. Also says you might want to change the price now. Well, it's kind of hard to. I mean, it's based off of like the total of everything divided by itself. It kind of works like that with the boxes too. Like if somebody pulls the Charizard, it's like, well, now do you just tank the price on everything else? I don't think it hits it that hard, but I get what you're saying. So James says 200 right now, even off center. Oh, really? For some reason, I was thinking it was worth more than that, but I guess that makes sense. Well, then I guess maybe that wasn't the biggest hit in there if the 151 Charizard is worth more than that. Or maybe it's only in a 10. Uh-oh. What's the last pack got? Exile. Man, your Hidden Fates packs didn't do very well. You got 2 baby shinies and 1 full art Giovanni's Exile. Make sure I didn't miss anything. That's actually pretty bad for Hidden Fates. But your repack, hopefully that made up for some of it. Because the other hits weren't that bad either. The Alakazam was kind of nice. The Arcanine was pretty good too. Alright, so let me put these in here. Congrats on pulling the Lugia. Ludo says he mostly watches people open packs. I learned a long time ago not to indulge anymore unless I become rich. Yeah, I mean it can be slippery there. All right, let me see if there's been any more orders put in. If they have, we'll go ahead and get to them. All right, so I'm showing there's no more orders. So that's probably going to be it for tonight, guys. I had a lot of fun. I'm glad we were able to end with the Lugia pull and with the Brock's Ninetales. That was kind of cool. But I appreciate everyone who's jumped into the live tonight, participated, bought in. I'll have your order shipped out tomorrow. If you do want to have some of these, anything that was pulled during the live, sent off to PSA or sent off to CGC, let me know. And I will try to, I've got it set up on the website, but I think it's only set up for CGC right now. And I can set up really quickly and add PSA to it. But yeah, good night to you guys. Thanks to all the moderators who continue to come out here and make it a lot easier to work with, chat, and keep it clean. I definitely appreciate that, and I hope you know that you appreciate it and appreciate it. But hope you know that you are appreciated, and you guys have a good night.